Welcome to Updated Autopsy Report, a podcast from Yotze Ben and Friends where we read and watch the inspirations behind Ace Attorney. I'm your host, Ben, and with me today is Dessy.
Hello.
And two good friends of ours, Tiago.
Yo.
And Rose.
Hi! My computer just told me it needs to restart to install updates, but we're gonna ignore that and keep recording.
Okay.
Good news, everybody! I figured out what the problem was.
Yeah. We're all longtime fans of Ace Attorney, and we hope that through our perspectives, it'll reveal new details and provide interesting commentary for all the media we discuss. Our intro music, is by Lace, and you can find all her other work at leiss.bandcamp.com. Today, we're discussing the 1971 TV movie Suitable for Framing, featuring our favorite, Detective Columbo.
Love that guy.
Yeah.
This was another one that we kind of slid in here as we got our internal schedule back on track. To the listener, it probably appeared as if episodes were coming out as on normal times, So, but here we, that means I guess I'm doing my job all right, because we shuffled things around and we're doing another little Columbo this time here, and this one's a favorite. In fact, this one is kind of beloved, I think, in general by Columbo fans. It's considered a highlight of the first quote-unquote season of TV movies. And do you want me to get right into the summary, or did anybody have some just top of the board, top level thoughts here?
I mean, nothing that I feel like we're not gonna cover. This is my favorite Columbo episode. I feel like I snuck that in there. Last episode I got very excited, but it's an all-timer. I love this one a lot.
I don't know if this is... I remember when I first showed Columbo to other people, this is not the episode that I would choose first, but it is an all-time banger.
If I'm making a top 10 list, this one has to be on there.
Yeah,
right?
Definitely in the top list, almost potentially top 5. I want to... Who's in my top 3? I mean, my top 3 involves... I
like the wine one, too.
Yeah, Any Port in a Storm.
Classic.
That is definitely
good.
That is the first episode I show people when I want to show people Columbo. This one's pretty up there. It's pretty solid. I like it a lot.
Yeah. When I say this one's my favorite, I don't mean this is the first Columbo episode I'd show you. I do mean this is my favorite Columbo episode. For sure.
I think mine has to go to the... Now we're just talking about our Columbo favorites before we even get into the episode, but mine is...
Yeah.
I think I'm putting on the record that my favorite is the Bye Bye Sky High IQ episode.
Also a pretty good one.
That's my favorite episode, and it has almost every Columbo thing you would expect in it.
Has a really good Columbo monologue at the end.
That monologue legit is incredible. It does so much.
Yeah.
Also, holy shit, I'm blanking on her fucking name. The lady in Halloween.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis. Thank you for immediately knowing.
She shows up for 30 seconds in that.
Yeah,
it's yeah.
Good. I saw her and I went, it's the Scream Queen. But yeah, that's my comment about Columbo.
Yeah. Well, yeah, then for this one, today, the summary, I've got Suitable for Framing. Art critic Dale Kingston and his young lover Tracy execute their masterpiece, killing his rich uncle with a massive art collection. However, while they have staged it as a robbery, things seem a little too convenient for Columbo when he arrives on the scene. For one, why did the theoretical robbers only take the Degas pastels? Why did they seemingly break in via the door instead of the windows? Pros always use the windows, Columbo notes. He also believes that 2 people were needed to outsmart the security system, and verifies that the security guard heard heels clacking away from the house, so he knows a woman was involved. Or perhaps just a very fashionable man. Dale, of course, has constructed an airtight alibi but it's a bit too perfect for Columbo, who uses his usual talent of annoying Dale to attempt to get new details. Confident that there's nothing in there that the detective could use, Dale forces the key to his apartment upon Columbo, telling him to go wild and search his heart out. Of course, after Dale murders Tracy to tie up the loose end, he brings the Degas paintings home, assuming Columbo has already finished his search. Instead, he finds the detective asleep in his own living room. Columbo apologizes profusely, but attempts to reach into the folio to see what new art Dale has brought home. He briefly places his hand on the Degas paintings, but is stopped by Dale before he can see them. At the will reading, it's revealed that Dale will not be inheriting his dead uncle's art collection. Instead, it'll be his uncle's ex-wife, Edna. Dale gloats in front of Columbo, declaring he had no reason to murder his uncle. He won't get anything anyway, so stop pursuing him. He then puts the next step of his plan into action, in which he frames Aunt Edna for the murder. Columbo, however, doesn't take the bait and makes it quite clear to Dale that he doesn't think Edna did it. This pushes Dale into begging the higher-ups in the police force to search Edna's house, arguing that they'll find nothing and can clear her name. But of course, he's planted the Degas paintings in the hallway closet. The police arrive to search Edna's house, with Columbo seemingly barely catching up, his hands humbly in his pockets, apologizing and saying somehow they went over his head. When the paintings are found, almost everyone is shocked, and Dale puts on an acting clinic as he feigns surprise at Edna having the painting. Columbo asks the labbies to dust for prints immediately, but Dale is perplexed. How would any fingerprints help? Columbo reveals his trap card and says they're not looking for Dale's prints or Edna's prints. They're looking for Columbo's prints. From when Columbo reached into the folio and touched the pastels, Dale insists Columbo that he must have put his fingers on them when they weren't looking. But Columbo silently lifts his hand from his pockets finally, revealing that he's been wearing gloves. Freeze frame, cut to credits, ship it.
It's definitely like an all-time ender for a Columbo episode.
Yeah. Usually the guy has his full breakdown. He confesses, right? In this one, you don't need to.
Mm-hmm.
He's already losing it. Just
the complete shock on his face. Yeah.
I find that like the freeze frame is kind of interesting because I don't recall another Columbo off the top of my head that has a freeze frame ending.
It depends on the episode, right?
Yeah.
They will sometimes freeze frame, but it's normally not a freeze frame where it is kind
the
of this
room.
Like the moment of the everybody kind of turning and looking at Kingston, and so yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good moment. It also I really like that there's no witty comment or turn of phrase or anything. It's literally just Columbo lifts his hands out of his pockets and kind of gently lilts to the side, like kind of leans to the side a little bit. And he's got a little bit of a smirk, right? A little bit of a smile to it.
It's such a good pose and such a good, like, just so Columbo looking thing that we made it an emoji in one of our Discords.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's the shrug, right? Because it's like it is Kingston breaking down, being like, "This is entrapment. Y'all are planting this on me. Y'all saw him touch it." And in the final moment, because like during the final end scene where like the police are searching the house for Aunt Edna's home, Columbo's hands are firmly in his pocket the entire time. He is like,
right.
Not only that, but he's like cartoonishly putting his hands in his pockets. Like his shoulders are like heightened up to his head a little bit, and he truly looks like he has not taken his hands out of his pockets the entire time. Definitely one of the better episodes that I think characterizes Columbo. Because like
it's an early one in which they've started to like nail the formula, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say that like it definitely seems like one of the episodes in which that like Columbo knew who the killer was day zero, and was simply egging on Kingston the entire time to just reveal more and more information, but always played the whole, oh no, don't mind me, I'm just thinking too much about things, you know how I get, haha.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, Ross Martin, who plays Dale Kingston in this, is just fantastic. Really doing I think if I'm trying to put all these season 1 episodes into my head here and cycle through them, but this, I believe, is like one of the early ones, if not the first one, in which the villain really gloats, right?
mm-hmm.
You know, really like lords it over Columbo. Like, I don't have a reason to kill him. You've been trying to pin this on me this whole time, but I don't have a motive and I have a perfect alibi. So leave me alone, you know. You can't do this, right? Because when they're heading out of the will reading, you know, and Columbo tries to talk with him, Dale, in the lobby there, you know, he kind of does this moment where he's like, oh, Columbo, you thought you'd see me moping, kicking tires, you know, out in the parking lot, that sort of thing. Nah, I already knew this was happening, you know, and I see there's no motive for me here. And so, yeah, it's a fun moment with him gloating over Columbo, which, of course, makes it all the better then when he finally gets got later.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we're kind of talking about the end. I think maybe we should loop back around to the start first, because this actually has a really good start too.
Mm-hmm.
Get some evidence in here.
The shooting happens almost instantly, and then we have like a kind of an extended bit just showing long shots of Dale as he's going through the house, knocking things over to make it kind of look like a robbery.
Make sure they made sure that you knew that all the paintings were watching the horrible deed that was done.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
they make
we zoom in.
Very funny musical sting while they show them.
yeah, the strings.
And they're playing the crystals and that.
Yeah, and then they do this, like, if you haven't watched the episode, they do this like quick zoom in on a whole bunch of paintings that have faces. Yes, to really drive home the point that the paintings are watching. The paintings have seen everything, you know, which is fun. It's fun.
I enjoyed the initial setup of the murder, in which that it's the victim playing piano. His nephew walks up, just shoots him point blank, no thoughts about it. There's a single moment where somebody knocks on the door, and for a split second, I was like, I forget how this episode goes, but you get that feeling of like, fucking, oh my god, this motherfucker's about to get caught killing his uncle. He's gonna have to fucking kill the guy behind the door too. But
and I was just moseying around, and you're like, get the fuck out!
Yeah, it turned out to just be his accomplice. A young, I've already forgotten her name, Tracy,
yeah.
Tracy.
Yep.
Who
was a student at one of his classes, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because he's a fucking scumbag.
Yep. Again,
I mean,
just
he just
another,
killed a guy,
layer.
so, like, you know.
Yeah, we got to add a couple layers on here.
I love this opening scene, too, because it's becomes so clear right away that he planned this. Like, not just to see, like, he shoots the guy, he's wearing gloves. He goes upstairs, he gets a heated blanket, he puts it over the body. Then he starts cutting some paintings out of the frames and tossing them around, which he very conveniently, also they later showed those paintings in the frames.
Mm-hmm.
In a later shot, because they're reusing footage. I'm just throwing that out there. But it's fine.
Listen, it was the 70s. We didn't have too many paintings.
They didn't have that much film.
Yeah, that's the real thing. Is film's expensive.
Film is expensive.
Yeah. I mean, this, yes, you get a couple good moments here, that kind of heighten the suspense. While he is seemingly almost lackadaisically going about with his prep, you know, to execute this murder cover up, and make it look like a robbery and all that stuff. That's just gone wrong. He casually walks over the door and starts messing with the door handle, with a screwdriver to make it look like it was all scuffed up, and broken into, and yeah, it's just nicely framed. And then yes, you get Tracy involved, and she has this brief moment where she's like, "Oh no, dead body," and he's like, get over it. He's kind of more amicable now.
He's better now. Hi.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that like this kind of displays the formula for like the pre-episode kill, like that is a part of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, in which that you see the killer do the crime, and then we have to like get all the information going backwards. Like ever since we did that like Sherlock episode, I think about like, oh, he does a lot of stuff and then works backwards. He gets the result and figures out how people got there. Whereas like Columbo kind of also does the same thing, but like in a really confused way where he pesters the fucking guy and just fucking ruins somebody's day.
I mean, don't underestimate Sherlock Holmes. He can pester the hell out of you. He will ruin your day.
That's true. He did pester the fuck out of me. That's a good point.
Yeah.
He personally
It could happen to anyone.
It could happen to
no one is safe.
Anyone.
It could happen to us.
The fact that the killer goes through a very elaborate, like, alibi establishment by literally encountering a bunch of people at a fucking party and then going, "Hey, what's the fucking time? My watch is really broken, gang. Oh, please, someone search my car to help me find a cufflink."
Yep, just to make it clear that, his car is empty. Multiple people, made note of the time that he was there, It's too clean. It's too clean for Columbo. And he says as much directly to Kingston's face. He's like, isn't it just grand for you that we know that your car was empty? We know exactly where you were from this hour to the end of this hour, He's like, it's just so great for you.
Congratulations, man. You got the best alibi in town.
Yeah, he's like, it's such a good alibi. He's like, it's incredible. Where'd you get it?
The alibi store?
I made it myself.
Yeah.
And here's what I made earlier.
I think the thing about it, though, is that, like, Kingston is one of the more aggressive Columbo villains with how much he's gloating. Because, like, literally on their first interaction, they go, "Well, aren't you happy that you can't nail me as the suspect?" And Columbo's like, "I wasn't thinking that." And he goes, Kingston's like, no, you were definitely thinking about it with my motive and my opportunity. And I'm like, bro, maybe you should shut the hell up. Like,
sir,
bro, can't shut the fuck up Friday.
Yeah, I'd like to introduce you to Shut the Fuck Up Friday. Well, no, I wouldn't, because you're a murderer, but still.
Yeah, it's... I just find that Kingston is like the also one of the like essential Columbo villains where he is gloating so fucking hard that like you want to see this dude get fucking caught because he's a goddamn menace. And the fucking fact that he gives Columbo his apartment key is insane to me. I would never willingly invite the police into my home. I don't know why this dude did.
Oh my god. There's been like personal anecdote that doesn't like have any identifying details, but like there's been like some stuff going on in our apartment building and the police keep coming by, and so they keep ringing everybody's doorbells, and everybody comes down to like see who it is, because we can buzz people in, right? And we're all just sort of like at the top of the stairs like, who is it? What's going on? Is it the cops again?
Yeah.
Like, why are you here? We're all just like, we might let you in.
Hi.
Somebody from the first floor is doing it. It's not me. I don't know what's going on. I don't want to know.
You don't want to know. Good point.
I live on the top floor of my building. I'm walking down a bunch of stairs to like look suspiciously at cops over a balcony.
And then just walk away.
Yeah. They're like, we're good. And I'm like, okay. Just stop ringing our doorbell.
Get out.
Yeah. Anyway, don't just let a cop into your home, even if you haven't committed a murder. What are you thinking?
Yeah.
Stop it.
So I think the wildest part is that he then chooses to decide to kill the other person involved with the accessory to the murder, the young artist, while Columbo was searching your home. I'd wait till I was in the crystal clear to commit murder too. Right? Like,
yeah. He's worried she's gonna flake. She's like a 20-something. She's still in college.
And she already calls him way earlier than he told her originally. So he said his phone was going to get tapped as well. Because, Columbo was like, well, they might try to call you and ransom these paintings back. So we should tap your phone in case they do. So yeah, when Tracy tries to call his studio earlier, he's like, I told you not to call me for a week. And she's like, well, I was worried. And so I think he was probably already going to do this, but the fact that she also seemed, like she was getting nervous already made him go, yeah, this is not going to work. She's going to crack. If she meets Columbo once, it's over. So I can't let this happen.
The risk reward is insane to me, right? Because like, I kill her, I no longer have a liability, but now I have a person who literally died and a police officer who already sort of suspects me at my home fucking investigating me because I gave him permission and the key to my home.
Yeah,
that is it's a very bold murder. It's straight up like bold. Literally, I'm just thinking of the fucking image, like, bold move caught, and let's see how this plays out.
Yeah. I mean, he's very overconfident, and he gets his first chip in his armor when Columbo says, like, well, a professional would use the window, not the door. And you can just see him being like, oh, damn.
Yeah.
Almost instantly. Like, that's the first one he was like, all right, I'm dealing with somebody who actually knows what they're doing here.
All of his plans are like a little half-baked, but not presented to us, the viewer, in a way that like is supposed to make us think that it's half-baked. It just naturally is. Because like,
right,
this motherfucker, goddamn, comes home and Columbo's sleeping on his chair. Hey, listen, I don't think he was really sleeping. I think he was faking it.
Oh, no. Yeah, I mean, listen, Columbo is pushing everything to the limit to try to hopefully knock something loose, right? So yeah, of course he's like, well, if I've been given the key to this apartment, I'm going to push it to the limit. So yeah, he searched around, did his thing probably, and then sat there in that chair and he waited. He just waited because he wanted to see what happened when Dale got home.
Wait, I forgot to ask.
And it obviously it works.
What did y'all think of the paintings throughout the episode?
They were good paintings.
Did you like the horse one?
Yes.
The one that like fucking Kingston hates.
He rips into it.
I feel sympathetic towards the horse painting, if I'm honest.
You feel
he used the horse painting to be like, why did you go to this guy's show if you think all his shit's crap?
You used me for evidence, says the painting.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's we are.
He did seem to genuinely want the horse painting, though.
Yeah, he just actually really wanted the horse painting.
Yeah, it is very sweet the way Columbo's like, ah, shucks, I thought I might have had a good one here. But you say it's crap, so I guess it must be crap.
I do like that he takes the time to interview the artist that Kingston is reviewing. And the artist, honestly an icon. I do hope I grow up to look like him.
Yeah, this man's hungover as fuck, angrily painting a nude into his, like, what is clearly, like, he wants to be, like, a landscape with flowers that, like, his agent is like, you gotta put some ass in it. And he doesn't want to.
And he doesn't give a fuck. My bear
the scene with the model is, like, a classic for Columbo.
Yeah.
I think, because he comes in, he sees a girl wearing no clothes. And he
just, like,
immediately is like, and he won't look at her the entire time. It's very funny.
Yes. It's something actually really funny about that scene and another scene later, the landlady scene, in which Columbo visits the landlady of Tracy to find out if the landlady had ever witnessed Tracy dating Dale, right? So he's trying to get this piece of evidence. And the landlady goes on this long, shaggy dog story, like, oh, I might have seen her with this one older guy once before that might match the description. I think I might have taken his picture. Let me go through my photo album and see. And so she goes through all these pictures and has different stories for all of them that are completely unrelated to the case. And Columbo keeps trying to hurry her up until finally she gets to the photo and she shows it to him and says, is this him? And he goes, damn, that's not the guy. And we cut to the next scene and nothing comes of it, right?
Yep.
So yes, that scene, the scene with the nude, lady posing for the painter, this is actually a result of the scriptwriter, Jackson Gillis. He had freelanced on hundreds of TV episodes before he worked on Columbo. He worked on the Hardy Boys for the Mickey Mouse Club.
Wow.
He wrote episodes of Adventures of Superman, and in particular, which was relevant to Columbo, he wrote over 30 episodes of Perry Mason. And then from the excellent book Shooting Columbo by David Koenig, I'm quoting here, highly skilled in plotting, Gillis introduced the series to the Act 2 switcheroo, a Perry Mason mainstay, in which about halfway through the show, the audience is surprised to see that the motive, intended victim, or even the murderer is not what or who they thought it was. The trick was doubly effective in Columbo because after the first 20 minutes, viewers assumed that they knew everything about the crime. In Suitable for Framing, we are shocked to learn that Dale Kingston would not be inheriting his slain uncle's art collection, and he knew it. His true scheme was to frame the actual heir, the uncle's ex-wife, so that the art would ultimately pass on to him. Now, however, despite the first draft being near perfect, it had one problem. It ran 4 minutes short.
No!
So, one fix was lengthening the scene in which Columbo questions the artist at his studio as a nude model poses in the background. In the original script, the model's only function was to pose as Columbo, quote, does his best to keep his eyes away, unquote. Instead, Columbo's embarrassment dominates the scene as he becomes flustered and intensely uncomfortable, particularly when the naked woman tries to interact with him. Also added late was the scene in which Columbo visits the gossipy landlady of Kingston's murdered accomplice / girlfriend. For more than 3 minutes, the landlady, played by Mary Wicks, gives the detective the Columbo treatment, rambling and veering off on tangents as he tries to figure out how to cut the conversation short. The humorous additions were completely extraneous to the plot, but proved to be highlights in one of the show's best ever episodes. So I thought that was quite funny, that these long scenes were the result of
we need to waste
them
time.
just trying to pad the episode out, right? But
they add so much charm, yeah.
They're like classic Columbo, right? They have ended up being like critical to Columbo's character overall. Like the Columbo being flustered as nude or slightly underdressed woman is around him, like happens a couple more times, right, throughout the entirety of the Columbo series. And people, the Levinson and Link, the creators of Columbo, loved this final clue in this episode as well. The fingerprints on the paintings that are Columbo's. They loved it so much, and Bill Link considered it like the best clue the show ever had. Right? He thought this was one of the best ones ever done. Peaked early. And as a result, Jackson Gillis was asked to come back on to write several more episodes. He wrote, later in season 1, he wrote Short Fuse.
Oh, I love that episode.
The one about the guy who does the bombs. And then, he wrote multiple episodes in season 2. He wrote an episode in season 3 and 4. And then, he also wrote Last Salute to the Commodore in season 5.
God, that was so good, Carol.
He had a long career with the Columbo series then, continuing writing scripts for a lot of episodes. So, good start for him there that proved fruitful in the long run.
That's really interesting because, like, it also adds kind of a layer to Columbo's character in which that, like, you see him interact outside the context of a person, like a suspect that he thinks is the killer. So then you get to see him act like a normal person that would be upset at another person rambling on about something that ain't related to goddamn shit. But then he then he immediately turns around and uses that shit.
How the turns tabled.
Oh, those turns have tabled. And he immediately flipped that shit back onto Kingston. I mean, it's kind of interesting that, like, all it took was, like, 2 extra scenes to establish a lot about a character. One in which he doesn't look at a naked lady, and one where it turns out he is completely normal. He just decides to be this guy when he's around killers.
I mean, this first season also, like, they were still, like, feeling out the character. Peter Falk was still deciding if he wanted to, like, keep doing Columbo, right? It was a hit. It was a big hit in season 1, but there was a lot of decisions to be made for season 2 because guess what? The studio wanted more episodes, and Peter Falk wasn't sure if he wanted to do way more episodes every season.
Yeah.
And Levinson and Link were not intending to return after the first season. They were going to do 1 season and then hand it off to other people. There was a lot of acrimony. There's a lot of anger, a lot of yelling in that first season between Levinson and Link and Peter Falk. He was a very demanding actor. As
he has a right to be.
If you've ever wanted to get, like, the backstory for a lot of these episodes, the book that I just quoted from, Shooting Columbo, by David Koenig, is very in depth and has a lot of that drama that they got into, arguing over length of script, when Peter Falk would get to see it. He really wanted to see scripts early, and what would happen is he would sometimes get his staff to get the script to him early when it was just the first or second draft. And then Levinson and Link would be really mad because they're like, it's not done yet, and why are you reading it this early? And then Peter Falk would be like, well, I have some feedback on it. And they'd go, well, yeah, of course you have feedback. It's not good yet. It's not done. Of course you think it's not good yet. So there was show business, baby, right? There was a lot of that going on.
On the one hand, I love collaborating with my friends on projects, getting their notes and their opinions, and but I like to invite them to do that with me instead of just having them randomly log into my Google Doc uninvited. Right.
Well, and what's particularly funny then is after season 1 and after so much fighting over like scripts and shooting and when things were going to be done, like Peter Falk really wanted every single movie that he wanted the next one to be ready to shoot almost immediately after the last one had been done, so that he could plan around his other shows, his Broadway performances, whatever else he was doing at the time, so that he did not have like a huge gap. Like he wasn't waiting on the studio to get casts ready or scripts ready for the next movie. He could just say, okay, I'm going to go off for a week, do my show, I'm coming back, we film the next one, bang, bang, bang. And so after season 1, after all this happens, Levinson and Link go, okay, we're done, we're leaving. And Peter Falk had a meeting with them and said, well, why are you guys leaving? And they're like, what are you talking about? We thought you'd be thrilled that we're leaving. And he's like, no, we hammered it all out now. I trust you guys now. Let's go.
Yeah.
We figured it all out. He's like, we had a lot of fights. We argued a lot, but now I trust you guys. So let's go.
And this episode was recorded after the like I trust you guys, let's go situation.
No. Sorry, this is during the fights.
Gotcha.
So this is season 1. So this would be during They are still arguing. They are still debating about, you know, when he gets scripts, and you know, he's exerting his influence sometimes. Sometimes Peter Falk would straight up, if he was not happy with something, he would get his lawyer involved and he wouldn't show up to the shoot.
Mr. Falk.
Oh, that's fun.
He had a rep as a very demanding actor to work with. Now, here's the thing. Everybody still loved him.
I mean,
right? Like, people were like, yeah, I love Peter Falk. God, he's a fucking bear to work with, right?
I mean, that
was kind of the vibe.
I mean, that's the kind of worker that you do want, though, right? The one that will, like, give you the best fucking product, but also you're like, he's fucking angry about it because he's like, I want it to be the best too. We gotta fucking do this together.
He that was his big thing. He was like, because when season 2 came around, then the argument was, well, they wanted to do 8 episodes instead of 6. And he's like, well, I understand you want to do more. He's like, but I don't want to do more unless I can ensure that they are still going to be the same quality. If we do more and spread ourselves too thin, I don't want it to suffer.
Mm-hmm.
So that was his argument. So they ended up getting 8 then anyway. And they adjusted some shooting schedules to make Falk happy. But yeah, there's a lot of fun now. It's fun to read about the jockeying and the back and forth behind a production like that. I'm sure it sucked at the time if you were working on it.
What's worse is that
I can right away, Mr. Falk.
I can imagine it. I can close my eyes and imagine him being like, "What the hell are you guys doing?"
Just don't read my script before it's finished, buddy.
Well, how am I supposed to get ready to get into the character of the mind if I don't have any inklings? I need an inkling. I need me one of those Splatoon kids to help me figure out the plot.
Yeah. Yep.
Hey, Splatoon Raiders was announced today, so God bless us, everyone.
Today?
Today. It was announced today, wasn't it?
That was yesterday.
Fuck!
That was yesterday, my good sir.
God damn it!
Time isn't real, it's okay.
Ah!
Yeah, you're good.
Alright, sweet, cool. Anyway, moving on.
Yay!
Yeah.
This we kind of left the summary of the episode back, and then we got onto a Peter Falk tangent, but I love Peter Falk, so that's okay with me.
I
sir.
love Peter Falk. He's so handsome.
I wish I could. I want to be like, guys want to be with him, guys want to be him, and that's the truth. Happy Pride Month, everybody.
Happy Pride Month.
Yep.
Oh yeah, how did we get all the way through this without Pride Month?
I think the ideal, if I'm closing my mind, do you guys know that one movie where Robin Williams dressed like a slutty Italian? I'm just imagining that, but with Peter Falk.
What?
I might need some more context.
There's like a movie where he's like wearing like a tank top. I'm actually pulling it up right now. There's a.
Are you talking about Birdcage?
Yeah, I'm talking about Birdcage. Why are you mad?
I'm patting your shoulder, man.
What's wrong with Birdcage?
We had people get. We did have people last time who were like, "How did you not know who Ingrid Bergman is?" And now I want to grab Tiago and be like, "How do you not know about Birdcage?"
I know about Birdcage. I just couldn't remember the name.
Okay, all right.
What, you think I have all names attached to me at all times? What am I, lexicon?
I just think it's funny that that's how you described it. Like, that was the image that was like, that was the information about that was stuck in your head still.
The fact that I want to dress like him? Yeah, of course. But now I'm imagining Peter Falk there, too. Dude, ideal blunt rotation. Robin Williams, Peter Falk, me.
That's incredible. Can I join?
No, actually sounds pretty good, honestly.
Yeah. Fuck, where were we, dude? Birdcage really brought me up.
I mean, I guess to kind of jump off of the segment of the book that I quoted, this Act 2 switcheroo that Gillis pioneered here. This is the will reading section, right? So this is kind of where we start to really get Edna as a character and like, you know, meet her bouncing off Columbo. We get the lawyer for the family as well, who I forget his name here, but
you mean you don't have the names right there?
Yeah, where's your lexicon, bro?
Are you not a lexicon?
Yeah,
Frank Simpson. I have it here now. So Frank Simpson, the lawyer, who is played almost like like the actor. Let's see here, Don Amesh. He looks exactly like what you would want the family lawyer to look like. Basically,
I trust him with my will. He looks like a lawyer.
He does. He does actually.
And yeah, so they read it all out. And yeah, we kind of, like I said earlier, Columbo, tries to confront Dale and in the lobby, and Dale just kind of throws it right back at Columbo and gloats the whole time and says, "Listen, I'm good. I've got my alibi. I don't have a motive, so leave me alone." And kind of storms out.
It's again doing the whole like gloating to Columbo about how he got away with the murder, because obviously he did it, right? But Columbo doesn't know what the real motive is. And Columbo's like, I gotta fucking figure this out. I can't believe this dude fucking one-upped me at the will reading. Not the will reading.
Yeah.
What
was that sound? It sounded like what was that sound?
Oh, that's the sound of the tea.
Oh, it sounded like the fucking pose from Wind Waker.
If I talk any more about how close I am to the tea, eagle-eared listeners will be able to geolocate me. I need to.
I'll be able to use AI.
The GeoGuessr streamer whose name I do not know, being like, I know exactly where Tiago lives. Looking right here. And then says the address.
He's looking at me at my window. My cock is out, and I'm embarrassed.
What's going on?
Are you sure
right
that's
now?
Okay? Making work for Ben, I see.
No, this is staying.
Another drink.
No, this is staying.
Yeah.
Wait, Rose, are you actually leaving to go get a drink?
No, I'm still here.
Oh, haha.
I mean, I might. I could at any
you
moment.
broke kayfabe.
I broke kayfabe, dude. Oh, God.
I mean, here's the thing is sometimes I say I'm gonna go get another drink and I actually do, so that's totally reasonable of you to assume.
I imagine, like, during the halftime show, where there's, like, a football team, and they're having a huddle, and it's like, bro, you broke kayfabe. And, like, during the
Is
fucking
that how
match.
football works?
No, absolutely not. I don't think so.
It would be really funny, actually, if football was
kayfabe?
was all planned out.
Oh, my God.
This is my favorite, like, sports conspiracy theories, where it's like, oh yeah, man, it's totally planned. For this is the story of the season. It's like, no, they're just throwing the ball around. It's fine, everybody.
Now, but what about when they deflated those balls?
Fucking knew it. I fucking knew one of us was gonna go into the goddamn Patriots.
Fucking deflate gate.
Dude. You know who
I have no idea what you're
talking
about.
When Tom Brady deflated those balls.
You know who else had it?
Cut all of this.
No, we're keeping it in. We're keeping every single thing in. You know who else had a crazy plan? Was Kingston.
There we go. Thank you.
So yes, Dale goes back to the lawyer and he says, "Oh, my poor aunt Edna. Oh, she's just so flighty and she doesn't know what's going on and she thinks she's gonna get targeted by the police." And Columbo's like, "No, I'm not. I don't suspect her at all." And he's like, "Yeah, she's totally gonna
Sometimes I can still hear his voice."
Yeah, I'm gonna get targeted by Columbo. And so we gotta have the cops search her house. And once they search it and find nothing, she'll feel so much better. And then we won't have to worry with the police bothering her ever again. And the lawyer's like, "I guess if you say so." And so then they do.
Mm-hmm.
So they have the cops come out. They show up that morning for Edna's house. And yes, this is when we kind of get Columbo awkwardly shambling in after the police already show up, doing his kind of act where he, he's behaving as if, well, yeah, they went over my head, I gotta be here to kind of make it look good, because if I leave, it doesn't reflect well on me. So here we go. And of course, yes, Dale has already planted the Degas paintings in the hallway closet. Honestly, just kind of put them under some bath towels or something. Make it
in the linen closet,
like the worst hiding spot ever. Probably the most suspicious thing so far.
Yeah, where do women hide things?
In
their closet with their towels, right?
Yeah. Women have linen closets, right?
Yeah.
So they put their paintings in their linens. And then it's just a good breakdown then throughout the rest of the scene as they pull the paintings out. Edna starts to freak out. The lawyer's like, don't say anything. And, Dale also tries to do his best to act, here. But then,
how
yes.
could you?
Yes, then we get into Columbo's just, well, yeah, we're not looking for your prints or her prints. We're looking for my prints.
This part is also kind of like extremely bold on Kingston's part, because like he has to convince 3 different people that no offense, this little old lady who's inept killed the guy for money.
That's maybe the part that stretches most incredulity, perhaps.
Yeah, because like she truly looks like she has no idea what's going on, and I respect her for that. I do,
and she
also wish
obviously does not require money. Like, she is very clearly fine. Like,
yeah.
Right.
She's got a car, she's got a house, she's off to the fucking Fashion Valley shopping center. She's fine.
Buying things that she's bringing home in boxes that are tied.
Yeah. I mean, that's just how it used to be, but
on the box it said Fashion Center, nothing else.
Yeah.
That's
fucking... just what California's like. Can confirm.
I've never been.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I have been.
Incorrect. You have.
You were here there more recently than any of us.
I know.
Incorrect.
Well, actually, Rose was.
I've been the most recent person to visit California.
The point being is that, like, to accuse her of murdering this guy and planning it in a way that, like, well, no, it was kind of sloppy because of the door thing. I guess, like, the sloppier it gets, the more likely I could actually see Edna doing it. But the fact that Kingston breaks into her car to sneak in the fucking paintings into the box or whatever, and then uses an opportunity to slip the paintings into the linen closet, it's just like, if I was gonna kill a guy for paintings, you wouldn't catch that shit in my closet. I'd fucking hide it under the floorboards or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd get a fucking storage unit. Like,
unfortunately,
they couldn't even track that shit back then.
This episode was called Suitable for Framing, and the things that were being framed was not the painting. It was the ante.
A double entendre, you say?
Wow, so fancy.
I do like how Kingston immediately flips and starts accusing Edna once the painting was in her, like, once it was revealed that the paintings were quote-unquote in her possession. Because he's a real heel at this point. Like, all fucking think, what's the word I'm looking for? All pretense has been dropped when he simply just goes, oh, you would like that, wouldn't you, Edna, if it was me? And it's like, no, I would never. Not me. I had grapes today.
She did have grapes.
That's true.
Well, no, Columbo had the grapes, actually.
They were her grapes first. She offered them.
That's
Columbo asked if they're real.
I mean,
she's been hanging out in the art studio with those grapes. Definitely not real.
Dude, do you think he ate a grape? Like a fake one?
I mean, I wouldn't put it past him.
He might have, sir. We should check his tummy.
People will eat the darndest things, thinking it's like, I have a memory of, like, cleaning up at my old job, and we had these candles that were shaped like little green apples, and I picked one up to, like, sort of dust under it and, like, tidy it up, and I turned it around, and there was a small bite out of it. A little child's bite.
A child.
It was a bite of, like, the size of, like, a 5-year-old's mouth on the backside.
Oh my God.
Somebody had bitten it.
Somebody learned
realized
something today.
their mistake and put it back on the shelf and turned it around so that their parents would not see.
What year did it happen in?
God.
What?
What year did it happen in?
I don't remember the year.
Was it 87?
No.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Put that back.
What? Put what back?
Put it back.
I don't know what you mean. Haha.
Neither of us were alive in 87.
I mean, that is the most true. Okay, I can't deny that.
Yeah,
yeah,
I
I
definitely
guess,
wasn't
yep.
old enough to legally work in the state of Massachusetts.
Or get bit by an animatronic.
Or be alive.
But that too.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I'm the guy who brings the FNAF references to the table. Okay, I gotta do my. It ain't easy.
That's your job.
You know,
Yep.
it's a living. We don't make profit off of this. It's not even...
Alright, I do have to go get another drink.
Oh my god. Well, Rose is getting...
Now, so you saying that these animatronics are coming alive at night?
Okay, I ironically thought to myself, like, oh man, Columbo would be great as, like, a Scooby-Doo guest extra. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I would love it if fucking Shaggy, Scooby, Velma, Daphne, and Fred ran into...
Didn't I say that about Tracy? I was like, she got Scooby-Doo ass hair.
She do... Oh, I believe it. She do be having Scooby-Doo ass hair.
She got Scooby-Dooby hair.
But I'm just imagining, like,
She got a Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
Christ. I'm just imagining, like, the kids being like, the Mystery Inc. being like, oh, it's a monster, and Columbo's like, now. let's not get hasty. Yeah, I know what you think you saw, but sometimes people see things they think they saw, but it's not what they saw, you see?
No.
Exactly. Oh my god. I can't...
Well, you did make me Google if Peter Falk was ever on Scooby-Doo, just to double check.
No, he wasn't. He would have been on
But he was
Guess
not.
Who Scooby-Doo or something like that. Or Scooby-Doo movies.
Yeah, he was never on that show or anything.
I've seen enough Scooby-Doo to
But
know that he was not in any
I did find somebody making photoshops that photoshopped Columbo into Scooby-Doo screenshots.
Wait, seriously?
Hell
On
yeah.
God, send it?
You're
Yeah,
keeping that from us?
somebody drew some art that puts Columbo in a Scooby-Doo.
Put it in the
episode.
chat.
I'll have to link it in the show notes then, now that we're talking about it here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the people need to see this.
God, what was the Scooby-Doo series where they fucking had guest episodes? Was it the new Scooby-Doo movies? I think it was. Like, they had a guest episode every episode. Like, Batman was there.
Mm-hmm.
The fuck?
Yeah, I am not as Scooby-Doo knowledgeable.
Okay, it's up to me to find out. Got it.
I mean, yeah, I'd be Googling right along with you, pal.
Okay, sweet. I mean, we already are looking up Scooby-Doo / Columbo images, so we can't be looking up too much.
Well, while you look that up, then I think we'll start to wrap things up here.
Oh, I mean, I have it
Yeah,
right
this
now.
is the rest of our evening right here.
I do have it in
Yeah.
You
front of
guys
me.
don't need to be there for this. You could go home.
It's the new,
Okay.
it's the new Scooby-Doo movies where like they had the Harlem
Okay.
Globetrotters and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. Yeah, I think that's kind of the rub for suitable for framing. It's a pretty good one. It's
It's a great one. Watch it if you haven't.
yeah. If I think Columbo really holds up. You know, the moments in which you would go, I don't know about this, are very, very rare in Columbo, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it holds up surprisingly well, and especially nowadays, watching a fictional cop who's actually decent and takes down rich assholes. You know, it's a fun fantasy to
Fictional
indulge
cop
in.
doing things that cops should be doing.
You know, it's a fun fantasy world to explore.
Yeah, someone who arrests evil rich guys who do bad things.
Yeah.
Sounds nice.
I mean,
With no violence.
Yeah, he never
Things-
has killed
things I
anyone's
love
dog.
things I love in fantasy, elves, orcs, cops actually arresting rich jerks who've broken the law.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. I got so distracted by finding out that Jodie Foster played you know the Addams Family, you know that grubby little kid, the boy, what's his name? Pugsley? Pugsley.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Oh, this is going great. We have so much information.
Pugsley Pascal, he's in all the movies nowadays.
Yeah, the girls love him.
He teaches you how to be a bitch. I'm sweating so much.
You're only 1 degree away from Transformers with Scooby-Doo, so let's watch it.
Oh my god, you're just trying to get me in your
We
fucking
have
quicksand.
to let the listeners go.
I think it would be so fun.
All right,
They're still here. We have to let them go.
I know, we've locked them in the room.
They're stuck in here. We have to let them out.
The listeners are starting to get nervous.
We've closed all the air
like,
vents.
are they going to let us out?
We've closed all the air
Our
vents.
saw trap would be the worst.
Honestly, I think I could get through any saw trap. I've seen enough. I do unironically actually cut this part. I don't want this part to be stolen from anyone else, so actually, Ben, don't say this. I'm not going to say it.
Okay, good night, everybody.
We can talk about this when we hang up.
Well, hang on.
Oh,
Okay, let me do my bit to actually end the show.
Okay, sounds good.
That will do it for us this week, folks. Thank you for listening. I hope you had fun, even though we kind of got off the rails there at the end.
Oh, because we're so good at staying on them.
We love those rails. We love those rails, but we're nowhere near them.
Mm-hmm.
They can stay over there. You can keep up with the show via our website, updatedautopsy.report, which has links to everything we do, all of our social media accounts, and also our YouTube channel, which features Let's Plays and other fun videos at youtube.com/@yotsben. I embarrassingly currently have the #1 and/or YouTube poop in the world on our YouTube channel right now.
Go watch it, everybody.
The most viewed YouTube and/or YouTube poop on the internet currently. Obviously, I could be wrong in a week's time because who the fuck knows.
Shout out to my buddy's and/or YouTube poop video where it's a list of every character saying the name of the episode and nothing else. Go check that shit out. BFA on YouTube. Sorry, bro.
That's pretty good. Yep. So, you can follow me on all social media at Yotsuben. Dessy, where can people find you?
At Dessy on Blue Sky for all of your Transformers needs.
And Tiago.
You can find me at Tiago S. Dutra on various social medias, including Blue Sky. Did you know that Dick Van Dyke was on Scooby-Doo?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That one I actually did know. I've seen that one.
Oh, okay, cool.
Rose.
You can find me at Rose Nonsense on Blue Sky. And when does this episode come out again?
This will air on the 17th of June. So
yeah, cool.
Yeah.
It's too late. I'll just be sort of hanging around cleaning up after Pride, I guess.
Yeah, last episode you told people to show up
for the parade. Yeah. I will have seen you there.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Yeah,
thanks for coming.
You did come, didn't you?
You did come to Pride. I saw you.
2, 1, come.
Do not come. Do not come.
Yeah, all right.
I can't participate.
Thank you so much for listening to the show. We hope that you'll rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, although who knows if we actually deserve it.
I think we do.
Spotify or your favorite podcast platform. Next time, we will be discussing the first 5 stories of The Extraordinary Adventures of Arsène Lupin by Maurice LeBlanc.
I thought that was an anime.
Yeah, I'm so excited for this. We're just
yes,
time to read classic literature that I missed.
Yep, it's a collection of 9 short stories, and so we'll be covering those first 5, kind of the first half of the book. So we'll do that next week, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye. Don Knotts has a wife.